Blessed love and blessings way up. So Timothy Bradley goes on another rant last night after the Bud Crawford fight, challenging all PBC welterweights, and Errol Spence, he did not like it. Let's talk about it.
Go. Welcome to
Real Life Boxing.
Blessed love and blessed day, oh boxing world, boxing nation, fighting world, fight nation. It's Coach Fighting. This is Real Life Boxing. As I said, Timothy Bradley, he went on a rant last night after the Terrance Bud Crawford fight, challenging all PBC welterweights, said all PBC welterweights are cowards and there's no real men over there. And Errol Spence, he comes off of the injured reserve list to come at Timothy Bradley. He did not like it. Hey, before we get into it, I'm going to ask you guys to smash on that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell icon so you can be notified when all things are being uploaded on the channel of Real Life Boxing. Let's get into it.
Over at PBC is Deontay Wilder. You want to know why? Because he's going to be fighting Tyson Fury in February.
He said now, the only real man over at PBC.
Over there. This man is begging to fight you, and he's going to continue to beg to fight you guys. Guys need to put your big boy pants on and need to come over and make this fight with Terrance Bud Crawford because he's the best welterweight in the world.
Listen, here's the bottom line. You can.
All right. And then Joe Tessitore chimes in and says his two-piece. But Errol, the truth, man down Spence, he did not like it. He took to Instagram or Twitter or whatever it was. It was like a picture message he took in his phone. And looks like it could have been Instagram. He posts, Timothy Bradley, shut your coon ass up. And I found this very kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying? First of all, we haven't heard nothing from Errol Spence. We haven't seen Errol Spence. He sent out like I don't know if it was a snap or on his Instagram story a couple weeks ago, said that he gave up with a sad face and everybody thought he was talking about boxing, probably talking about some life stuff. But you know, since then Terrance Crawford has been very vocal in the media, calling out Errol Spence, saying that Errol Spence is the one who doesn't want to fight, you know, this, that, and the third. And Errol Spence has nothing to say when it comes to Terrance Crawford. He's not tweeting anything. He's not snapping anything. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as he hears Tim Bradley say something that he doesn't like, you know, he tweets out or Instagram story, whatever it was, that Tim Bradley is a coon, because Tim Bradley is challenging PBC welterweights along with Errol Spence to fight Terrance Bud Crawford. Now, I don't really agree with the way that Tim Bradley went about doing it, because in calling out Errol Spence and the welterweights, he called out all PBC fighters. You know what I'm saying? Because he said there's no real men over there at PBC except for Deontay Wilder, and I think that that's a little bit over the top. You know what I'm saying? And kind of harsh to say, being that there are way more fighters over at PBC than just a few welterweights that don't want to fight Terrance Crawford. And there's some very good fighters over at PBC. You know what I'm saying? So for Timothy Bradley to just go on a rant like that and say that he's there's no real men over at PBC, I think that was kind of outlandish and over the top and kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of ridiculous for him to say. I think he went over the top. But at the same time, I feel like Tim Bradley has taken on the that type of character. He's taken on that type of personality, you know, like a Teddy Atlas, who, you know, they go on their rants every once in a while and, you know, just say outlandish things in the face of the media. I really think that Timothy Bradley has taken on that role, you know what I'm saying, over at ESPN, because, you know, they have a crew and everyone has to play a different part, you know what I'm saying, in commentating. Everyone has to have a different personality in commentating. Timothy Bradley is rashing. Andre Ward is looking at him like he's absolutely crazy. Joe Tessitore is looking at him like he's crazy. And I was looking at him like he's crazy. I'm like, this dude is bugging. You know what I'm saying? Because he just thought, you know, he told Andre Ward and Joe Tessitore, hold up, let me just, you know, and he just started rashing. And both of them are looking at him. They're looking at the camera. They're looking at the staff in the back. And they're like, oh, God, here we go again. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I think Timothy Bradley could have went on. He could have chose some better words, you know what I'm saying, to explain himself. I don't think that those were the best choice of words to get his point across. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I do feel what he's saying, and I agree with him on the terms of we need to see these PBC welterweights fight Terrance Crawford. You know what I'm saying? No doubt in anyone's mind that Terrance Crawford is one of the best fighters in the world and definitely belongs to be in the ring, definitely deserves to be in the ring with those PBC welterweights. Of course, Errol Spence is the one that we want to see him fight, but hey, we won't have no problem seeing him knock off Danny or Sean. You know what I'm saying? Or even Manny. You know what I'm saying? Even though I think Manny would give him a pretty tough fight if he fights like he did in the Keith Thurman fight. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Sean Porter may give him a pretty good fight too, but I think that Terrance Crawford could stop Sean Porter. And I think that he could stop Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? Obviously, like I said, we want to see him fight Errol Spence, but, you know, like I said, we won't have no problem seeing him knock off a few of those other PBC welterweights, since everybody says that, you know, Bud Crawford isn't a real champion and they're not trying to recognize the WBO champion. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I find it really, really, really interesting that Errol Spence, you know, he chooses this to respond to. Timothy Bradley, he chooses to respond to, rather than choosing to respond to Terrance Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Or even if he was gonna respond to Timothy Bradley, the way he responded, he could have said, "Yo, at Timothy Bradley, I'll fight Terrance Bud Crawford when I get back after one tune-up match." You know what I'm saying? Or I'm ready to fight Bud Crawford. Ain't nobody over here ducking Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But instead he says, "Timothy Bradley, shut your coon ass up." You know what I mean? So I feel like that was kind of a weak response by Errol Spence, being that he's on the injured reserve list, and being that Terrance Bud Crawford has been speaking about him in the public eye, in the media, saying that you know, it's those guys who don't want to make the fight. It's Errol Spence and team who don't want to make the fight. It's not me who don't want to make the fight, and it's not that we're on opposite sides of the street, because as you see, Tyson Fury and Wilder was able to make that fight. You know what I'm saying? So it don't got nothing to do with separate sides of the street. You know what I'm saying? And Errol Spence has never responded to any of that, you know, but he comes out and feels the need to respond to Timothy Bradley, calling Timothy Bradley a coon because Timothy Bradley is defending another black man in Terrance Crawford. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weak all around, just like I said. Errol Spence, he could have chosen better words, you know what I'm saying, to his response. Like I said, he could have said, "Yo, we'll take on Bud." You know what I'm saying? It's not any one of us will beat Bud. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no suckers over here, PBC. Any one of us will beat Bud. We'll make the fight happen. But instead, he chose to attack Timothy Bradley for Timothy Bradley's Timothy Bradley did kind of attack the PBC, the whole PBC staff, not even just the PBC welterweights. So I could definitely see where frustration kicked in, but still, from the standpoint of Errol Spence, being that he was talking kind of directly to Errol Spence and the welterweights, Spence could have been like, "Yo, we ain't ducking no smoke over here." You know what I'm saying? We'll take that smoke anytime. Any one of us will beat Bud. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he chose to respond by calling Timothy Bradley a coon. But like I said, both of these guys have their faults in this situation. I don't really agree with Timothy Bradley blasting the fighters at PBC besides the welterweights, you know what I'm saying? Because he blasted the whole brand, not just the welterweights. So I definitely find fault in Timothy Bradley with the way that he handled the situation, but I'm not mad at him for feeling the way that he feels. We want to see these fights, and Errol Spence calling Timothy Bradley a coon because Timothy Bradley is defending another black man in Terrance Crawford. That doesn't really make sense. Errol Spence, we would have liked to hear you come out with a different response, like, "Yo, I'll be back pretty soon and I'm gonna take on Bud. I'll be back pretty soon and I'm not ducking no smoke." You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't worry about it. But you know, Errol Spence has been one to talk in codes. You know what I mean? Doesn't really come out and say what he wants to say all the time. He kind of talks in codes. You know, he likes to leave people wondering, you know, suspense and drama. But like I said, let's see the fight, man. Let's see the fight. Errol Spence come off the injured reserve. You You know what I'm saying? They're saying that he's recovered from the car accident and he's gonna come back. So hey, Errol Spence got some questions to answer. You know what I'm saying? And we still want to see that fight, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? And Terrance Bud Crawford is still calling for those fights, most definitely. So you guys tell me what y'all think about it in the comment section. I just wanted to run that by y'all real quick. Until then, keep fighting y'all fight and protect yourself at every single time. Peace and one love. So if you like this video and you would like to see more great content like this on the channel, go to the PayPal link or the Cash App link in the description and show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. This is Real Life Boxing.